All right, welcome in everyone. Let's get started in just a second. This is gonna be a little bit scuffed getting started, so welcome in. Let me turn off starting soon. What else do I need to do? Let me just check something really quick in another view. Hey Dice K, welcome in. Yeah, you got first Kira, Owen, Nat, Charlotte. Who else? Moira, Rocks in a Cup. We got Pink Snow in here for the first time. Thanks for adding to the count here. And rabbit cereal. Okay. I think I'm good. So let me switch the camera. This is awkward. I think that the window is like cut off strangely or something. It's just like the symbol and stuff in the camera. Better. Hard to tell. Okay, well, yeah, I'm doing okay. I've got this hunt sort of set up. I have a couple things that I need to make certain are working. But turns out that playing through Heart Gold Soul Silver is 16 times. Well, I had to do like 9 extra ones today, and it was a lot to play through to get here. Let me script and like see if it's gonna work really quick. What did I do? Oh, there. Okay, well, that part is working. I've got to see if this other part is working. Got both the pre-orders? Nice. Nice. Okay, well, that's working. What about the other way? One way's working. Why is only one way working? Pre-ordered your Scarlet today? Yeah, I was gonna do that on stream actually, but it turns out that there's a lot going on today. Okay. Let me just mess with this script really quick. And this is the worst time to mess with this, but I think it's gonna be worth it. So I need to do a couple things. I need to change the counter to the correct number, which is shown on screen already, but needs to be updated here. And for people who don't know, you can see on the screens that we are in the mart. So the background is the mart. What is it? 1494? Yeah. Okay, so that's done, and that'll read that in. And then I need to figure out why we're not reading these correctly. Axis is 3. I'm just gonna run without it, and we'll let's see if this works. The heck? Does that work? That works. At least we don't have to worry about me being run over by people riding scooters. Maybe not. If I get hungry, I can just grab a snack off the shelf. That's a good point. That's a good point. Let me get my headphones in. That might help. There's Shoelace. Thank you for the shiny look. So nice of whatever grocery store I'm in to let me stream there after hours. Exactly, exactly. So I'm only getting right and up. I can get right. Where's the left? Left. Let me check my thing. Okay, I'm gonna try the other script that I didn't edit and see if that one works. Mu1. And the Mu1 needs, I need to change the increment, I guess. Sudo nano do to gc dash nds dash control dash mu. Increment by 16 and the count file is there. Okay, let's try this and then just run with it. Doing it live. Only right is working. That's very strange. That works. I know why it is. One of the wires was unplugged. So let me try this all one more time. Okay, so that's working, and it's going to make it a lot easier if I'm able to use the C-stick instead of the D-pad. So let me just try that really fast. We fixed one issue that wasn't actually a like software issue. Let me see if I can create a new software issue, and then we'll get going. Because it's going to be a lot better if I don't have to use the D-pad. Try this, 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 this. This, 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 this. I swear we're gonna get going in just a second, and I'll be paying more attention to everything. Yes. Okay. All right. This layout is probably a little bit scuffed when it comes to the size of everything, but let me move some stuff around, move this over. I had some other ideas for what I wanted to do, but this is where we ended up for today. I wanted to stream today, but it is quite scuffed. So we're gonna do what we can with it, and then tomorrow we'll do better with it, so. Okay. Talk to the guy, pick up the first eggs. Let me just check on this really quick. And then I'll read through chat, sorry. Okay. And now Are all of them running back and forth is the question. Oh, they are. Yes. Yes. Okay. So we have 16 DSs set up on a little shelf that I have here, running back and forth. Okay. It's only like 5% scuffed. Thanks, Rocks in a Cup. I appreciate that. Okay. And Charlotte, you start your new job tomorrow, so you can't stay long, but you're halfway done with your secret shiny project for Trans Awareness Week. I'm very excited about that. You'll have to share it when you're done. I'm excited that you've gotten some of your secret project through. And we're like so close to $5,000. It's insane. A bunch of people donated over the past like hour or so, which is cool. Okay, so let's hatch 2 sets of eggs, and then we'll have our guest on today. That's kind of my thought here. So let's hatch 2 sets of eggs. I'll get myself situated and like less flustered, and then we'll go. I think that I should move that down 1 notch. Is it gonna go? No, not gonna go. One time when you were 8, you got lost in a Kmart, wasn't even phased. Nice. Yeah, I have, I think I got lost once in a store, and I got, like... It's scary when you get lost, because the employees, like, want to help you, but they're scary. Like, it's, I don't know, like, strangers and stuff, especially somebody who's, like, socially anxious, is just like, I don't want to deal with a stranger. Literally was just like, maybe they went out to the car. Yeah, I think some kids like have it's like the type of attachment that you have to, like in general, to people and to your parents and stuff, whether it's like healthy or not or whatever. I don't know. Some kids are just more confident than others when it comes to that. I was definitely not the confident type. Very anxious and terrified. Guess how many Trans Awareness Week shinies you gotten? I don't know, all of them. Pretty close to all of them. I was just about to do something. Oh, prediction. Start prediction. Shiny this stream. There's your prediction if you want to predict. For anybody who's new, I'm Nora, my pronouns are she, her, and we are shiny hunting in a very strange way. We have 16 DSs hooked up, and we're running back and forth inside this mart, trying to hatch Togepi eggs that we just picked up from an NPC in the mart. And at the same time, we're raising money for Trans Awareness Week, which is an event that I'm hosting, and we're supporting the Marsha P. Johnson Institute. We've reached our goal and have exceeded it, and very much welcome more donations. What was your latest one, Daisuke? I didn't check the Discord. I saw that you had some good news and bad news. Good news, I think, meaning that you got something new. Wait, you got 15 shinies? I guess I've been missing some then. Or I just haven't been keeping count. I think I've seen most of them, but that's wild. Porygon. You're gonna have the full collection before anybody else gets anything. Oh no. 2 of the screens are frozen. Oh, because they're hatching. A bunch are hatching. A bunch are hatching, and that's why they're frozen. I'm like freaking out because it's a nightmare getting 16 USB ports working. Okay, this is our first set of Togepi eggs. This is our first set of Togepi eggs. Is everyone ready? For all the work that I put into this is the first set for all 16 of these games that I spent like 48 hours setting up. Okay. We're looking for red spots in the center of the Togepi. And they're all blue. They're all blue. Hey, hi Pokemon. Welcome in. Dice case ceiling, everybody shiny luck. That's crazy. 16 is crazy. That's awesome. Congrats. Shiny this stream. I don't recommend betting yes, but it's always possible. It's always possible. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hatch another set of these eggs, and then I'm gonna grab some water, and then we'll get started with our guest, because this is a very easy hunt to do, so I can just like, it's literally just like on one controller moving the C-stick back and forth, so it's like a lot easier than some of the other ones that I've done. Failed to pour Egon less than an hour ago. How's everybody doing? Anybody that hasn't chimed in yet? Sounds like we're getting lots of shinies, that's for sure. Two Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu shinies and one Pokemon Go shiny. Congrats, Roxanne Cup. That's awesome. That's awesome. Good, because you got free chicken wings. Oh, I did see that. I just didn't get to comment on it yet. Because it was ways up in chat, so thank you for reminding me. I would like to have free chicken wings. That sounds amazing. Charlotte, yeah, thank you so much. Have a good night. Thank you so much for popping in for a bit. Definitely got started late here, so. Daisuke, you've been saving all of your shiny luck for this event. Is that true? Hi, Pokemon, you were doing a catch combo Nidoran and Let's Go, but you got a shiny Spearow? Oh no. At least it's a shiny, but sadness, it's Spearow. Sweetman had leftovers and offered them? Nice. Nice. Yeah, so we're gonna have Owen on to talk about his experience as a trans person in a bit. After these eggs hatch and I go grab some water and stuff. We'll get started with that. I swear there was something else that I wanted to do. If folks, if you can, like, I put out a tweet about this stream. It is kind of, like, late, and the notification for the stream is wrong, unfortunately, which is, like, I feel like a big botch on my part, so if people would, like, retweet, etc. this tweet, I would appreciate it, to get the word out that this stream is happening right now. We did prediction. I have stream avatars up. What else is going on? There was something else that I wanted to do. I don't remember what it was, though. And thanks for... I'm already, like, seeing notifications pop up on my phone. Thanks, folks, who are helping me out with that. Or helping us out, the event out. I really don't ask for these things normally. I feel kind of bad doing it, but, like, everything that I'm asking for in terms of, like, social media support and things is for the event. Like, at this point, as you can tell, like, I haven't increased the follower goal as, like, a gesture, because I don't really have one right now. And that's not the point of this, so... Yes, I did. The 16th one is exclamation mark recent, actually. I set everything up, which was fine. Like, that didn't take very long to set up the, like, because I have everything set up for, or, like, I know how to set all of that up, and I didn't have to do anything extra in games and stuff, but we got it pretty quick. It was in, like, less than an hour. We got it, so... The final shiny starter is there, and it was a Cyndaquil. So my count, I counted them today. The ones on the game, some of the shinies that are showing on the games are not the starters, which I guess I can change at some point. I just liked having some of the other ones on there. But our final count is 8 Chikorita, 5 Cyndaquil, and 3 Totodile. And we lost 2 Chikorita and a Totodile. So... yeah, Cyndaquil gang, exactly. 5 Cyndaquil is pretty good. Alright, Next set of eggs. Finally, the Togepi. That's right, Glav. How are you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. I am going to get up and grab some water, and then I'm going to come back. We're going to start our call with Owen and keep doing this because it takes forever, and it'll be cool to do an interview while we're doing this. So let me grab some water. I will be right back in like 2 seconds, basically. So no worries. I'm not even going to put up the be right back because I'm right here. It's great that not only your first class at 1 p.m., it's also about stuff you learned in other classes. Nice. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna go on mute. I know that I'm on mute, and I'm gonna chat with Owen for a second before we get on, just make sure everything's going okay. So we'll be right back in a second. I'm gonna put the be right back screen, I guess, up in case people come in, or never mind. I'm just gonna sit here silent.
Hello. Yeah, can you hear me fine? Cool. And I guess I should go ahead and mute you on. Okay.
All right, we've got Owen on here. If people want to chime in with how the levels are, I'll let Owen introduce himself.
Hello, I'm Owen. I use they, them, and he, him pronoun.
How was that in chat? If people chime in on how the levels are, sounds good from Kira. Okay, cool. We got one sounds good. If anybody has any other opinions on it, let us know. But otherwise, we can get started. Cool. Yeah, we've been starting with Pokemon stuff, and that generally seems like a good place to start. The other thing that I want to say is that Owen is a streamer and has been helping us out with the event with some fun incentives and fun hunts and stuff, and I'll let him talk about some of that. So, you want to talk about like what role Pokemon plays in your life, including streaming and all these things for us?
Yeah. I started playing Pokemon when I was 7 when Pokemon Pearl came out. Um, and I don't actually remember if I started watching the anime first or if I started with the games first. But obviously, it still plays a very huge role in my life. It's one of my main special interests. Um, and it's just like really fun to just like stream something that I enjoy doing in my free time.
Yeah, totally, totally. That's super cool. That's super cool. So, did you say what your first gen was?
Generation 4.
Generation 4. Okay. And which game specifically?
It was Pokemon Pearl.
Nice. Nice. Did you play BDSP or no?
Uh, yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, never mind. Well, I guess do you have multiple files or are you still doing Briefcase Simulator?
I am still in Briefcase Simulator on Brilliant Diamond.
All right. All right. Um favorite Pokemon, favorite shiny. However you want to take
For
those
favorite
questions.
Pokemon, right now it's Smoliv, but before
Okay.
it was announced, it was Pachirisu, followed by Landform Shaman.
Nice.
I'd say that probably favorite shiny right now would probably be Cantonian Ninetales.
That's a good one. That's a good one. It really depends on And Jittery Pluto, thank you for the donation to the Marsha P. Johnson Institute and putting us at exactly $5,000. If you are here,
Hey.
thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's very excellent of you and everyone before you for donating quite a lot of money to get us there. But the final bit to round out the number, it's amazing. Thank you so much, everybody. And if anybody's donated in any other streams and wants a different avatar, feel free to chime in chat with what you would like. I have to give it to you, basically, and here are the options. What was I going to say? I was going to pull up sprites and stuff for these things. Let's see. Hard to do both at once for this, but I can try. Tails. Cool. It's gonna be awkward, I guess, because the other scuffed part of this is that my layouts are messed up. So I have mixed layouts here. Where's Firefox? So I've got my old layout here. So which is your favorite sprite for Ninetales?
I haven't looked at the sprites for each
Okay.
generation. Oh, you have it up on your
I
thing.
have them up, yeah. I guess yeah.
Probably out of those, I think probably Generation 3.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. I think I like the design of Generation 3 a lot, but the color scheme doesn't appeal to me as much.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the blue on the tails, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's what sticks out, but that's super cool. I also like a lowland Vulpix, I feel like appeals to me more than a lowland Ninetales, but yeah. I really like the blue on the tail, I think, is the deal.
Yeah.
And then does Smoliv have sprites yet?
I don't know, but I know that there's like stream avatars
That's
in
good.
some streams for Smoliv.
Yeah. No sprites have been added yet. Correctly,
Aw.
you know? Because the game's not out yet. Even though it's everywhere, it's not technically out yet. But yeah, cool. Nice. So what else when it comes to Pokemon things? I'm like discombobulated on what my questions normally are. I'm also happy like if you want to take it in like a direction with the Pokemon things too for stuff that you want to share.
I have a list of the
Okay,
questions up.
cool. Yeah.
Um,
I've got it too now, so yeah, you can go through.
yeah. For the first shiny one, in Pokemon Pearl, I'm just so glad I knew what shinies were as a kid. I ran into a random shiny nose pass in Mount Coronet. I caught it because I knew it was shiny. But what's
Nice.
funny is I didn't know how to evolve it. I just didn't stay in Mount Coronet long
Oh
enough.
no.
So I just ended up with a level 100 shiny nose pass on my team.
That's hilarious. I love that.
Yeah,
Can
and
and
that's like I lost the cartridge for Pearl, and that's why Probo Pass is on my Platinum Dream Team quest, so I can kind of
okay.
reclaim it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So if you raise it to level 100, can you still evolve it or no? Or when did that
Um,
change in the games?
so I think it was like starting Generation 8. If you use a rare candy on a
Oh,
non-evolved
okay.
level 100, it'll evolve, but I'm
Yeah.
not sure if that was like Gen 7 or Gen 8.
Yeah. I know in PLA it's different in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So, cool. And then you've got some good shiny hunting stories that maybe some people in chat have heard or not.
Yeah. So, I was going to talk about the Amora hunt I did, but then I
Uh-huh.
remembered something from high school. So I
Okay.
had this friend who was in the same lunch period I was in, and every single day he would just like pass around a bunch of Game Boys so everyone could help him shiny hunt for Moltres and Fire Red Leaf Green.
Oh my
And that was
gosh.
like my first time ever shiny hunting, and it wasn't even for myself, it was for someone else.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That person is a
Yeah.
genius.
Yeah.
Did
I'm
it
just
did
glad
it
he was
get
able to get all of them before the prices exploded.
Yeah. So did that ever result in a shiny being found during lunch period or no?
I
You
think
don't
that it
remember.
happened like during summer break that he got
Okay.
it.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, that's really cool. I love that. It's like only certain people think of these things.
Yeah.
Okay. Are any of these shiny is the question, and none of them are. But I'm just gonna look carefully because they're small.
Yeah, it is a very subtle shiny.
Yeah. Okay. Um. Nice. Does that cover the Pokemons?
And
Oh, go ahead.
the question also lists like favorite and least favorite hunts.
Oh yeah.
By far, my favorite is game corner hunts. Like,
Really?
I had so much fun with my Dratini hunt that
Okay.
I ended up planning 8 more game corner hunts for when I hit
Nice.
Celadon City. And for least favorite, you gotta go with the briefcase sim, obviously. Like, it's just.
BDSP. Yeah. Or in
I,
general. Are you like stuck off of
yeah.
Briefcase Simulator in general, or is it BDSP only?
BDSP, because the
Okay.
load time is so bad. It's
Yeah.
like, I've done over 10,000 encounters in that game for the briefcase sim.
Nice.
Between Turtwig and Piplup, so
Nice. Nice. Love it. Cool.
I'm
Should
not.
we go ahead? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any more questions about Pokemon on my list.
Nice.
So
Yeah, we can return to Pokemon at some point, but we can move over to
yeah.
trans related things. And for folks coming in, you want to introduce yourself again?
All right. Hello. I am Owen. I use they, them, and he/him pronouns. Yeah.
And you identify, how do you say you identify? Trans masc or
um,
trans, or how do you say it?
I typically call myself a non-binary man.
Hmm.
So
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. Cool. So what does trans mean to you? Being trans mean to you?
Uh, to me, it means being unapologetically myself. My transness is an important aspect of my life, and I want to accentuate that and lean into it and embrace it.
Mhm.
Because it is important to who I am, and if I'm trying to be unapologetically myself, then I gotta embrace it.
Yeah, totally, totally. Yeah, and that makes like a big difference to other folks too. I
Hmm.
think in general to have because some people struggle with being unapologetically trans, like including myself in a lot of ways, sometimes. So yeah, it's nice to have some folks who really like are able to do that at times. And I try to do that myself as well. But yeah. Um, when did you figure out that you were trans?
I figured it out when I was 16.
Hmm.
I finally had convinced my mother to let me cut my hair short for the first time, and as
Hmm.
soon as I saw myself with short hair, something just clicked.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That was echoed by Quill yesterday, which was very
Hmm.
interesting thing to have happen. So before that, you typically had pretty long hair, or just like
It was like
not
around to
shoulder
my
length or something.
shoulders,
Okay.
I'd say.
Yeah. 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 That's pretty crazy to think about, but that's super awesome. Um, and I guess like it's like a very sudden thing to have happen because it's not like all of a sudden you like grow a bunch of hair and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
the opposite direction.
yeah.
Yeah. And when did you think you noticed something was like kind of off in the background, even if you couldn't put your finger on it when it came to like trans identity or gender identity things?
So, like, are you talking about like things that, like, when looking back, it's like, oh yeah, or
Yeah, that kind of
okay.
thing. Yeah.
So I distinctly remember in middle school, I just constantly thought things like, if I were a boy, I'd always do this or that and stuff like that. And like starting from the age of like maybe 8, I just started absolutely refusing to wear dresses.
Uh-huh.
And the only context I would ever even allow someone to put makeup on my face was if it were for a play.
Got it.
Um, and I only auditioned for male roles. And I just like chalked up dysphoria to like the like average going through puberty body issues.
Mm-hmm.
So
That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. So like, do you feel like there's like you can put your finger on like a first time, like how old you were when you started like noticing these kind of things, or do you think it's like pretty as far back as you can remember?
I didn't like connect it to the concept of me being trans. I knew about trans people ever since
Mhm.
I was 3, but I just like was like, nah, that's not me. Until I got that haircut. So
Yeah.
like I
Cl-
didn't really expect or suspect anything was off. I was just like rolling with it. I was like, this is just me being a tomboy.
Yeah. Yeah, so you kind of I guess in comparison to kind of like Axel yesterday, you would identify with the egg memes more strongly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um cool. Yeah. So when did you start your transition? I guess was that like immediately after you got that haircut, or what did it take?
In terms of social transition, I
Yeah.
started on a small scale and I like started testing out like names and pronouns with a queer youth group I was a part of.
Nice.
My first combo of like labels and pronouns and names was demigirl, she, they pronouns, and the name Alex. For
Nice.
medical transition, I started April of last year for HRT.
Okay. Okay. What how would you describe demigirl typically? Like I know that you're saying you don't identify that way anymore, but for folks who don't know.
Yeah. So demi girl and demi boy are like partially girl slash boy depending on which label, and
Mhm.
partially just something else. It could be like agender, it could be like gender queer, just like some combo of the two.
Mhm. That makes sense. That makes sense. Um so what like in terms of like what brought you to in the start of your transition, I guess socially, you're talking about some of the like trying out pronouns and stuff in the youth
Mhm.
group and things. But what made you feel like HRT was the right thing for you?
Um, I had been like talking about it for like the first 3 years I had been at college,
Mm,
and it's like I finally like got my appointment set up. I was like trying to figure out what I wanted because I wanted every change
mhm.
except for potential hair loss, and
Yeah,
I was just like hesitating so much because I was afraid of like losing my hair because I really love my hair.
yeah,
But it's
yeah,
like all of the positives outweighed the negatives for me,
mhm.
so I decided to go through with it.
Yeah, yeah. And have you been happy with it so far?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What do you like? I guess like it's difficult not to go off script with these things, and I guess probably what I should be doing is like updating the like questions and like the like order of them and things. But yeah, I guess like in terms of like dysphoria stuff, what kind of things does HRT help with, and what other things help with dysphoria?
Um, it definitely helped a lot with my voice because my
Yeah.
voice used to be like a lot more feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of time I don't even really notice a change in my voice, but
Mm-hmm.
then I like go back through and like watch my voice updates. I'm like, oh, there has been a big change.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, ever since I like my beard started filling in a bit more, like it's not visible on camera at all, but it's like visible in person.
Yeah.
A lot less customers have been calling me ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if I weren't on HRT, I would just still be getting called ma'am left and right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's kind of like there's the like internal, like in a vacuum, this is what would make me happy kind of thing, and then there's the external, like if this weren't a thing, then people might misgender me and that might make me unhappy
Hmm.
kind of thing. Do you feel like a lot of the changes that you've had in HRT and the other things that you do to manage dysphoria are like for yourself mainly, or like in a vacuum, those would be things that you're happy with, or
Yeah,
yeah,
I am totally happy with every single change I've gotten so far.
yeah,
Even if I were the only person on this world, I would still be happy with the changes. It's
mm,
not like based on other
yeah,
people's perceptions, it's based on my own.
yeah, yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense for sure. Um, and in terms of like other like medical things, like if you had access and like the the unlimited resources kind of thing, like what are you looking to do in the future when it comes to medical transition things? Welcome in,
The
Hyph.
only the only thing that I know for certain that I want is top surgery.
Uh-huh.
I haven't really made a decision on if I want bottom surgery or not. Right now I'm leaning towards no on bottom
Hmm.
surgery though.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. I feel like those kind of, oh, we've got an ad, but I feel like those kind of decisions happen like you can like sit down, list them out, and then make a decision on each of them, but that's gonna change.
mhm.
Yeah. So are any of these Togepi shiny? They are not. That's very satisfying that at least we've gotten like an hour out of this hunt so far. And this layout that I've made. We've still got like 45 seconds for the ad, I think. Let me know, like, maybe I should like type that in chat. Can answer that question from Kira. Uh, does it make Akira a bad ally if she purposely picked super hard songs for you to sing today for karaoke, and your poor voice couldn't hit the higher notes?
I mean, rolling in the deep wasn't that hard.
I thought you did a really good job with them. I really
I did
appreciated it.
better than I thought I'd do.
Uh-huh. I loved it. That was great. Thanks for doing that. I appreciate it. It definitely raised some money for the charity here, Marsha P. Johnson Institute. So that was awesome.
Yeah, I
Um,
mainly changed the incentive away from the put the skeleton in my chair because I didn't want to have to sit in that really uncomfortable wooden chair for 5 minutes.
yeah, totally, totally. Trading places and giving the skeleton your nice cushy chair. Um,
Yeah.
we need to have like a shiny hunting talent show. This is what's becoming clear out of these incentives here. Um, yeah. Uh, what was I gonna say? The voice stuff. I guess like
Yeah.
for folks who don't know these things, like for um trans masc versus trans femme, as after you've gone through like a male puberty, whether it's your first or second one, the effects on your voice are not reversible. So typically for trans femme folks, it's voice training, and for trans masc folks also, y'all do voice training sometimes. Is that something that
The
you've worked on at all, or not really?
the only voice training I ever do is just trying to sing along to songs where the person singing has a really low voice. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's really, I mean, there's like plenty of downside, like if you look at each side, you're like, oh, some of these pros are the cons on the other list, but there are like some significant differences in the issues that we've got on either end that I don't think there's a clear like, hey, this one's the better direction to go kind of thing. um, okay, let's look back at the top of the questions, I guess, and just see what's going on here. What's your favorite thing about being trans?
Just like kind of being free from cisnormative views of gender, probably. Just like
Yeah.
not feeling the need to conform to gender roles and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty like some of the absurdity becomes super clear when you see how much like gender roles and like gender presentation has like flip-flopped 100% one way or the other direction like multiple times through history, where it's just
Yeah.
like this is all made up and the points don't matter and y'all are like trying to defend these things with your life. And it's very clear based on history that the right side of history is not like the one that you're on kind of thing. So yeah. Yeah, it's like kind of, so you're saying it's kind of like exploring the things and then embracing them and being unapologetic about it and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Yeah. That's really cool. How did you pick your name? I feel like your name
I
should have been
chose
higher.
my name in the most mundane way possible. I literally just scrolled through a baby name site, saw the name Owen, and was like, yeah, that works.
I love it. I love it. It's really
Like,
great.
hey, I've stuck with it for 4 years, so I mean,
Yeah. You're not like looking at baby name books every day trying to come up with a better one. Sounds like.
nah.
Yeah. Um What kind of things have been a struggle for you through this journey kind of thing? Like overall, like you seem like to me from an outside perspective, you seem like very confident and very comfortable, but I know like underneath that is like can be some struggle and things. So,
Yeah, the main struggle recently has been the financial side, because it's like, um, Planned Parenthood has been recommending I be on a zero point 0.5 dose of testosterone for
hold
the
on,
trial
Owen.
now.
Hold
Oh
on.
boy, a Taylor raid.
Welcome in everyone. Thank you so much for the raid, Taylor. Um Welcome in Rabbit Cereal, Not a Price Tag, Quaxley, MCT, Migtor, Moni Pandas. It is a lot of games, so we've got a couple things going on. Everybody coming in, we have this set of games that started out a bit scuffed, but it's going okay. And then we also have Owen on the line. I don't know where I'm pointing, but Owen is here somewhere in the ether. Talking about his experience as a trans person. So this is like close to the start of the interview because I got started really late. So if folks want to stick around for this, this is something that's been going very well and is very interesting. I have all the VODs posted for it. We've had 5 interviews so far, and the 6th one here is going very well as well. So, yeah. Let me just say hi to everybody here really quick, and then I'll let Owen introduce himself again. Galactost, welcome in. Who else? Mint, welcome in. Your eyes. I'm sorry. We're in the mart, as you can tell. We're in the mart. And running in the mart is very important because it saves a few seconds of dialogue, essentially. Professor Rexy, welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. Owen is a gamer, that is for sure. Agreed. Okay. I think that's everyone. Alvi Chopin, yes, it is. Okay. So we're doing, again, for folks who are still popping in, we're doing an interview with, we've been doing interviews with trans folks to hear from other people aside from myself on my stream. So we're doing like semis, like we've got some questions written down and we kind of talk about those things, but we don't really have a super clear direction on it. If folks want a different avatar, if you've donated at least $5 in a different stream, then Another raid.
Double raid.
Professor's Lab, welcome in. Welcome in, Professor Rex. How are you doing? How are you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in, everyone. I think that we've got the pre-roll off, so y'all should be here. For people who haven't been here before, my name's Nora. My pronouns are she, her. I'm the host for the Trans Awareness Week event you may or may not have heard of. We've been doing this event this is day 6, and it ends on the 20th. And we're raising money for the Marsha P. Johnson Institute in support of Black trans people. And Trans Awareness Week is something that happens every year and has nothing to do with Pokemon normally. It just like has nicely coincidental that we have a Scarlet Violet coming out and stuff. But yeah, Professor Rex, welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. So today we have another interview. These interviews have been very interesting. They've been going well. And Owen is on the line. But I'm all over the place today. Let me do the like charity things. So we have a number of like incentives. So we have 25 streamers streaming this, and Trans Awareness Weekers is where you can find them, the people who are live now. And if I click that link, I'm seeing that 3 people are live now. And then the second link has everyone who's streaming for the event, and you can see them all here. We have a bunch of live incentives that folks are doing in their streams that are all different. And then we've got these rewards that you can see in the Tiltify link. If you'd like any of those, and I have some of them here because some of them are mine. We've got 2 art ones, and then I'm donating these Game Boys myself. And if you want one, you can donate the specified amount, and I'll make one for you in like whatever mix of clear blue, clear, and clear pink you would like. And then we've got these little commemorative Mew figures as well that we'll focus in a second, but in 3 different colors. And also the donations being matched 1-to-1. So at the end of the event, there will be one donation that that doubles as long as we're like below 16K. And I don't think that we're going to hit 16K. So yeah, we basically raised 10K at this point, but every bit of extra counts, and it's in service of the charity. So super stoked about that. Is there anything else? I think that's most of it. We're going to switch over to Scarlet Violet playthroughs. I've been doing Mew. We didn't get the Mew. We were at 3,600. And now we're doing this insane Togepi hunt, which Professor's Lab, if you've seen his streams or their streams, both of the professors, you may have noticed some of their insanity with consoles, and this is a similar idea. So on my desk, I have 16, or not, it's actually set up over there, but I don't have a new picture. There's a picture of my setup, an old one, but it looks very similar right now. Those look delicious. Yeah, Forbidden Mew candy, exactly. The background, yeah, we're in the mart, Taylor. We're in the mart. What else would you expect? Let me make sure these aren't shiny, and then we can reset so we can see why we're in the mart. Okay, let's get back to Owen. Owen is on the line. Owen, introduce yourself.
I am Owen. I use they, them, and he, him pronoun.
Cool. Yeah. And Owen is a streamer and is streaming for the event. And let's shout him out too if the shout outs are done for these other folks. Please go follow Owen. He's another trans streamer. And you'll be hearing more from him on my stream today. But his streams are a lot of fun, and I would really appreciate folks who would drop him a follow. And he eats Pokemon cards on his stream, so if you donate $50.03, so that he knows it's for him, right? Is it 3?
5.
Oh, $50.
$50.05.
$50.05. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Where were we with questions? I figured we were gonna get raids, but let's figure out what's going on.
I think we were at the struggle on my journey part.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that's, yeah, I was talking, like, you're, like, quite a confident and, like, forthcoming person in general, and I know that, like, there's, like, behind that, there is some struggle, for sure, so I just wanted to hear from you about some of that.
Yeah, So Planned Parenthood has been wanting me to switch to a zero point 0.5 dose
Hmm.
for the testosterone injections, but they give me 6 months of vials at a time. So it's like as my dosage increases, it just gets more and more expensive.
Hmm.
So I've been sticking to a 0.25 dose so I can conserve testosterone. So it's just like trying to like have enough money to get all of my vials is a struggle. Um and like early on, I was struggling with coming out because
So sorry. So on
I
the Planned Parenthood aspect
yeah,
of it, they
yeah.
like the dosage part of it. I don't think I caught exactly what was going on there. What was the what's the issue?
So basically, Planned Parenthood has been encouraging me to increase my dose because of my T levels looking good.
Mhm.
But financially, that's not viable for me because they give me 6 months of vials at a time. So it's like as my dosage increases, the more I have to spend. So I've been sticking to a 0.25 dose so I don't have to pay more.
Okay. So that's like that means that you're not getting the quite the correct dosage is the point.
Yeah.
And that's really crappy. That's not yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, it's like the price isn't
Yeah.
too bad with my insurance,
Yeah.
but with them sending them all in bulk instead of just one vial at a time, it really adds up.
And Kira's asking about the how do you do it?
Yeah, I have to inject it into my thigh myself, but I am not currently on the injections. I'm currently on the gel.
Yeah.
And the gel is another struggle on my journey because I hate that stuff.
Yeah.
It takes so long to dry. I have to do it every day as opposed to once a week.
Yeah.
If someone touches where I apply it before it's dry, I will accidentally trans someone else's gender. Um, I don't know if I mentioned the smell already,
Yeah.
but it smells so bad.
Yeah.
Um,
When I heard that gel was an option for like either direction, either hormone that you're on, it's just like sounds like such a bad idea, but I know that it like works for some people and it's the only thing that can work for some people, but geez, it
yeah,
sounds really
I
awful.
I heavily prefer the injections. I can't wait for me to run out of the gel just so I can get more vials of the injection.
Yeah.
But what I was starting to say about like the earlier part of my journey, um, so it has to do with my grandmother because for a long time, my mom's sister and I had to live with her to take care of her because she had dementia.
Hmm.
And lots of time when she got really confused, she would try to escape the house and we would have to like try to come like go get her or like she would like adamantly refuse to get in the car and we would like have to call the cops and I knew that if I came out as trans, it would just confuse her even more.
Wow. Okay.
And so like I was delaying coming out for so long just because I wanted it to be easier during breaks in terms of taking care of my grandmother.
Wow.
Um
That's a
so I was
yeah.
like really struggling like over breaks, like with the constant misgendering and dead naming.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's really rough. And that's like that's a lot of sacrifice to make, but I mean, it sounds like the logical choice, but it's not really an
mhm,
easy one to make.
yeah.
So, yeah, that is
I
awful.
ended up coming out anyway before she passed because I just decided I couldn't handle like another break of all the misgendering and dead naming. But we kept it kind of on the down low from her. So,
Yeah.
or at least I tried to. My aunts just went out with it.
Um, when it comes to, I guess like, yeah, and like what kind of like before and after when it comes to like your mental health and stuff, how do you feel in terms of like how transition has helped your mental health?
I've been a lot more confident in myself ever since even just socially transitioning. And
Yeah.
since starting T, like it's gotten even better. Because it's like I was just like hiding who I was for like so many years, and just like being able to be open and like not having to hide who I am, it was just like so freeing. And like the changes from testosterone, it's just like every time like I look at my pre-T photos in comparison to how I look now, I'm just like filled with joy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. Yeah, I know some folks, we've heard from a couple folks who have trouble with, like, don't have enough pictures or struggle to look at pictures from previously, but for me also, like, I have a specific set of pictures, like, side by side that, like, it was like I don't need to put pictures side by side anymore. It's like, and I don't need, I've like internalized the like my own gender euphoria in a way over it, and I
Hmm.
don't really need the validation anymore from anyone, kind of thing, and that's like really powerful. So, curse
Yeah.
long hair own pic. Oh yeah, I think you shared one on Twitter. Was that right? Yeah, older one. Yeah. Um, Basically the like sorry to jump to this, but the main incentive for today is opening Pokemon cards, I guess. But if you donated at least $5 in anyone's stream, I'll change your avatar at the bottom of the screen if you want to pick any of them from the list. But yeah, so far, um, what was I gonna say? I don't remember. um cool, yeah. And like, if I ask the question explicitly and ask why it was important for you to transition, what kind of thing do you say to that? It feels like you've spoke to it a little bit, but
Yeah, it's just like a matter of I was just tired of hiding who I was, and I was just tired of like getting misgendered all the time.
yeah,
So,
yeah, totally. Um, and what kind of like advice do you have, I guess, for folks that's experience based, either like good experience or bad experience for you, in questioning their gender identity and things that helps you along your journey?
yeah, it's okay if you don't get everything correct the first try. Labels aren't the be all end all, if that's the correct phrase. I am not sure if that's the correct phrase.
I think it
Identity
is.
isn't set in stone. You can try out different things, names, pronouns, labels, and it'll all end up okay in the end if you end up getting it wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, and definitely the like the important thing is finding spaces that are like even just mildly more comfortable than the ones that you're in. It sounds like the youth group that you were in was very helpful for that, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I mainly tested out different things.
Yeah. So support groups and like youth groups like that can be super helpful for at any age, I feel. For that kind of thing, because everybody there is going through or has gone through very similar things, and there's support there for it. So that's definitely one avenue. The other one that we talked about before, or one other one we talked about before, was like the like anonymity of like online communities kind of thing, and being
Hmm.
able to try out name and pronouns there. It's also very interesting on Twitch. Like, people can change their username, but you can only do it every so often. But like, you could change your username and see how the name sounds to you when you're called that by streamers and things, as one example. Um,
Yeah, or like going to a Starbucks
yeah,
and testing out different names.
that's a classic one. Yeah, I was glad you mentioned that. It's like, yeah, you just tell the cashier whatever name you want. Do you want to be called? And then they call it out, and you see how that feels. And it's like
And
a
then you see
whatever.
how bad they spelled it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. See if it got lost in translation and whether you want to choose the name, choose another name because it's harder to get right. Yeah. Um, and I think we touched on some of the things that help with gender dysphoria. I guess like in
Hmm.
the day to day, you've like briefly talked about. Yeah, maybe I'll let you talk.
Yeah. So like day to day, binding, I don't bind as much as I used to because I really messed up my ribs my first 2 years of college from unsafe binding. But it's like whenever I'm at work and there is the heavy chance of me getting misgendered, like I just put on my binder, like I put on like a snapback, and then I usually like pass, and then people don't misgender me.
Yeah.
Um, I tried packing in the past, which
Hmm.
for people who don't know, that's essentially like you have a it's like lots of time I think silicone.
Hmm.
I could be wrong on that. Penis that you put in place of where like an actual penis would be, and it helps alleviate dysphoria, but for me it didn't work very well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's similar to like breast forms or shape forms for
Mhm.
trans feminine folks, so definitely, and like less in a these things are like much less in a sexual way is the point. Like these
Mhm.
are things that like help with like literally gender dysphoria in the day to day. And I guess that like the back on like on the binding aspect of it,
Mhm.
I feel like that's like a really important one. The fact that like it's possible to do these things in an unsafe way, and you can be like you're kind of like encouraged to do that a bit by society, and also just by the fact that
Yeah.
like you don't have access to top surgery currently,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, that is not financially available to me currently. Like far from it. Yeah, it's like my freshman and sophomore year of college. Lots of time I was binding like at least 13 hours a day, which is a big no-no because the maximum is 8 hours a day. So yeah, I really messed up my ribs and back those 2 years.
Yeah. Do the is that something that like I mean it sounds permanent, I guess is the point. Is that like something that you're still struggling with?
My ribs not so much anymore, but I feel like lots of the back pain now is just caused by a gamer slouch. So and less
Some
from the
posture
binding.
adjustment here. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely like
For
that.
Yeah, for binding, sometimes there is an inverse where it actually makes my dysphoria worse. Because I have a larger chest, so my binder doesn't work very well, especially since I am a larger person in general.
Mhm.
It's like some days, like I just can't position my binder in a good way, and it just looks like I shoved a pillow down my shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like on days like that, it makes things worse. But
Hmm.
most of the time, that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And the point really is that like if you had access, I imagine like putting words in your mouth, you would do it tomorrow. Like you would get top
Yeah,
surgery tomorrow, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And that's like a really it's a really awful thing because it's like these like binders even when you're using them as safe as you can, it's not an ideal solution like long
Yeah.
term and stuff. And we should be providing access to folks for these things through like subsidized healthcare, like universal healthcare kind of thing in the US. It's really,
Mhm.
really a terrible thing.
There's also trans tape that people use for binding instead of chest binders. But the problem with that is it doesn't work on people with larger chests. So that was never an option for me. So, but from what I hear, trans tape is a lot safer and it can be
Okay.
on longer, but I could be wrong on that because I don't have experience using it.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, that's something I think I'll probably look up after stream. That's a very interesting thing to think about. It's definitely helpful. Like the trans. I guess you probably don't think about like some things you may think are very obvious, I guess, but the difference in trans masc versus trans femme
Hmm.
experience is like even knowing like some trans masc folks and having them as friends and stuff, there's still stuff that like I don't think about all the time, and it's only when I
Hmm.
like sit down and ask the questions that these things come up. So if any of those come up, that you like are aware of, feel free to share them.
Um, I feel like you got like a pretty good coverage of information from Quill yesterday.
Okay.
Was that yesterday?
Yesterday was Quill. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
yeah, trying to think of anything specific. I wasn't there for the entire time yesterday, so
Yeah.
um lots of the things that are like popping into my head are kind of like universal, like waitlisting and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Totally. I guess in terms of like trying to think of how to phrase this. Um I'll think about that question, the question that I'm like trying to ponder here a little bit more.
okay.
But in terms of like any times you felt unsafe as a trans person, interested in
Um
any of those, like emotionally or
so
physically or otherwise?
most of the time I feel pretty safe, but recently ever since my beard started filling in more, choosing which gendered bathroom to go in has been tough because lots of the time I look too feminine to other people to go in the men's room, but I also look too masculine to other people to go in the women's room. So it's just like I just have to like go with the one with the less amount of people in it most of the time.
Yeah, that's
So
yeah, yeah,
it's like that's like the only real time that I feel unsafe because
yeah,
I'm like at a pretty accepting college campus.
yeah,
But that like even though I know that the student body is typically like not transphobic, there's like always that fear that I'm gonna like bump into the wrong person.
yeah,
So
yeah. I'm just like amused very inappropriately at the like choice between two bathrooms and just like choosing to just sit down and squat right between them.
yeah, like
Because
literally
it's
the
like
other day, I the all of the gender neutral restrooms in the student union were full. That was a voice crack. And so like I went to the women's room and then like 15 people flooded in and I was just stationed there in a stall for like 10 to 15 minutes waiting for them all to leave and they were all being so loud. It was like a sensory nightmare.
yeah. Yeah, that sounds really awful. And it's like these like simple choices that even if there's no actual like physical threat, there's a
Hmm.
lot of like anxiety and like mental
Yeah.
threat. Like I am not comfortable going to the bathroom in public, period.
Hmm.
I just like if I've been presenting femme in public 100% for the past like couple of months. And I just like don't feel comfortable using either
Hmm.
bathroom. So I either like I don't like public bathrooms in general. Regardless, they're usually like somewhat gross, but it's a real crappy thing to like have something as simple as going to the bathroom be a struggle for people.
Yeah,
Like
it's
which
like
bathroom to use in these things.
especially when I'm at work because there's no gender neutral restroom in that bathroom or that bathroom. I am it's late
Yeah.
in that building. So it's just like I just have to make a guess at which one has the least amount of people. And I usually just default to the women's room because I know it has more than two stalls.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Thanks, Quill. Wanted to pop in before you went to sleep. Keep the tab open. Thanks so much. Heal fast, Owen. Yeah.
I mean there's not much to heal, it's just a big bruise.
Still, not being able to sleep is a thing. Um, yeah, I guess like aside from bathroom stuff, it's like you've you've lived in multiple places
Mhm.
in the country. Do you have like
Well,
anything
just
else
in
that's a
North
bother?
Carolina.
Okay,
I
yeah,
haven't been forced into Ohio
you haven't been
just
forced
yet.
to Ohio yet. Yeah, right, right. Will's telling you to shut up and take his platonic love.
Okay, thank you, Quill. Ooh,
Got
raid.
another raid. Random note generator, welcome in. Welcome in. Are y'all here? Or are you watching an ad? The pre-roll is on, and I feel like I don't understand when people get an ad when they raid and when they don't.
I always just forget that I even have ads now.
Yeah. Anyway, random note generator, feel free to chime in. Thank you so much for the raid when you're here. And folks who, okay, I'm doing all right. Yeah, we've got Owen on talking about his experience as a non-binary trans man. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, I guess that's right. Is that the order of the words that you use?
I use so many different orders. It's just like it's just easier to say non-binary trans man at this point. Because otherwise
Um,
it just gets to be a mouthful.
yeah. So I guess if we're, I think, did we cover most of the ones up in yeah, in the general section? I think we got most of them. Like socially transitioning, I think we've covered most of that. But is there? Oh, I guess like, so you are you socially transitioned everywhere now? Is the first? I guess that answers the first question.
Everywhere except on my dad's side of the family. Um, because I know that like they would not be accepting, but I'm not really in contact with them anyway, so I just consider myself out everywhere.
Makes sense. And then like how was coming out for you in different places? We've touched on at least one or two, but like what times kind of stand out to you in your life?
So it's really funny. I mentioned my aunt earlier when talking about my grandmother. I came out over text to only my sister and my mom.
Okay.
The first thing that happened, the first response I got was my sister called me like 20 minutes later, and the only thing she said was just, why the name Owen? Just like in the typical sibling teasing way.
Yeah.
My mom was just like, do you want me to make a Facebook post about it? I was like, you know what, sure. And I know that she hides all of her posts on Facebook from our extended family.
Oh.
And so I got on break, and my aunt was at my grandmother's house like refilling her medication, and my aunt just walks up to me and is like, so do you want me to call you Owen, or? And I just look at her, I look at my grandmother, look back at her, and she's like, she won't remember. It's like to this day I have no idea how my aunt like found
Figured
out.
that out. Yeah. That's
Like
wild.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another time that stood out. So after that, I'm pretty sure my aunt just told the rest of my extended family,
Mhm.
and most of them either lived in like different cities in North Carolina or like in other states.
Mhm.
So the first time I saw all of them after coming out was at my grandmother's funeral, and like the vast majority of my mom's side of the family are progressive, but I have one aunt who is conservative, and she took it way better than I thought she would. Like after the funeral, she walked up to me and was like, "Oh, hey, I have a friend who is a non-binary kid." I was like, "Okay, Aunt Becky." And like I was just like expecting her to just, you know, do typical transphobic things like being like, "You're still dead name to me," and stuff like that. But no, she was actually pretty chill about it.
That's good. That's good. So that's like the main experience that you expected to be negative, but wasn't all that
Yeah.
negative kind of thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you've had a pretty good like set of coming outs.
Yeah.
That's good. That's really nice to hear. Um, yeah. I feel like we've covered a lot of this, but I'm feeling like we're like kind of rushing through it in a way.
I
Um,
mean, it is 1 a.m. where I am,
yeah, I
so
don't like whenever you have to go is fine. I'm just like trying to make sure that I don't do your experience like less justice than everybody else. When it comes to like, uh, I guess like the transitioning young and stuff, that kind of thing, is that something you feel like you speak to, like with folks for you and folks around you that you've known who are trans and things, the
um
importance of that and
well, like, the most I can say with that is like nobody like is giving kids irreversible surgeries or anything. It's literally just puberty blockers, which are completely reversible. There's like literally no problem with puberty blockers for like kids. So it's like I don't see a problem with like letting kids at the like the very least who are questioning get on puberty blockers so they don't have to deal with the actual irreversible changes from puberty.
puberty. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, like I didn't know what transness was when I was younger, but if I did and I knew that puberty blockers were a thing, I would have taken them in an instant. I
Yeah, I
like
I learned about trans people at a very young age, but I still didn't connect the experiences of being trans with myself until I was 16.
yeah.
I guess I could delve into how I learned about the existence of trans people because it's kind of a
Sure.
funny story.
Sure.
Um, my mom was stage managing a production of Rocky Horror Picture Show, and her friend Carla, who is a trans woman, was playing one of the characters. I don't remember which one. I was like 3, so of course I don't remember. But so like I walked up to my mom and I was like, "Is your friend Carla a girl or a boy?" And she told me to ask her. And Carla said, "I used to be a boy and now I'm a girl, and that's okay." And my mom told me that like a few weeks
So
later,
nice.
I was like sitting in my grandmother's house, and I
Mm-hmm.
just suddenly said, "Mommy's friend Carla used to be a boy and is now a girl, and that's okay."
Yeah. Yeah. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those things can have a big impact. It's always
Hmm.
important to me in those situations to try and react well. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's really nice. Um, yeah. I think I'm just tired today is the problem. I'm really like I'm kind of like bummed because I feel like I'm not doing this justice. Is the stars Manny. We got the dual raid here. Stars Manny and Vio. Welcome in. No raid call, you guys. Welcome in. For context, I was in their stream, their like voice chat stream earlier, and I learned some stuff about Canadians, including that you don't need a passport to go to Canada. You just need enough toes that you can give one up if you're going to Toronto specifically. Are there any of these shiny? Is the
I don't
question.
know what that means, and I don't know if I want to know what that means.
Welcome in, Vio, Sleepiest Boy, Zeralith, Stars Manny, and Flash Step. Um, Yeah, so I'm the host of this is the host stream for Trans Awareness Week. We've been doing this event for 6 days. This is the sixth day, and for the past 4 days, I've been having guests on to talk about their experience with transness and gender non-conformance and other things. So we have Owen on right now, and he uses he/they pronouns. And yeah, we're raising money for the Marsha P. Johnson Institute. We've been very successful, and any donations beyond the goal are appreciated. And also, they'll be doubled because we have a matching donation that'll be made at the end for the whole set of donations. So, um, give up your toes. Yeah, I thought Canadians were very peaceful, but clearly, the stereotypes that I hear from people not true. They want to take your toes. Um, yeah, I feel like we're
Funny,
like,
we'll never go to Toronto.
yeah, yeah, don't go to Toronto if you want to keep your toes. That's what I've learned. Um, did you get anything, Stars Manny? Did you get your Lapras? I love all of the Lapras art on your like meme art on your stream. It's extremely awesome. And I'm sorry that you're like 12k over odds. Or not 12k over odds at 12k. Um, you're at 13k. I'm sorry. We've all been there. Oh, yeah, it's look good. I love your chaotic outfit though. It keeps you going. Yeah, it's a great layout. People have contributed epic works of art to that. And I encourage folks, if we didn't get a shout out for Stars, we did. Please follow Stars Manny and check out their Lapras hunt currently. I don't know if you're going to be switching between that and something else, but I like the Lapras hunt. Um, what else is going on? Well, yeah. What I'm gonna let you talk about what we haven't covered, Owen, because I'm looking at the questions and I feel like we've covered quite a lot of it. But I'm like you're the expert in your experience. I want to make sure we've covered your experience well. So
Yeah. I guess I can like cover some stuff from my social transition, like
yeah.
before I came out to my family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so there was like one moment, uh, like it was like one semester. I barely remember it even happened. That it's like that's how minuscule it was to me. But I used to be a Nintendo analyst on my college's video game news show. And I remember there was one day where I was like, you know what, screw it. I am gonna wear a pronoun button on my shirt and just hope that my mom and sister don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that was like the first time I kind of like advertised publicly
Mm-hmm.
that I was trans. It
Mm-hmm.
was just like wearing a pronoun pin on live TV. Granted, it's only live TV that plays at my college, so I
Still.
don't know why I was so terrified of my mom and sister finding out. But like, I like was like, oh no, they know that I'm on this show. They're gonna look it up and find out that I'm trans. Oh no.
Yeah.
But it's like I wasn't even hiding the fact that I was trans all that much to my family. It's like my mom was the like on the board of directors for that queer youth group for a
Mm-hmm.
while. Um and I had to like tag along to some of the meetings for it. And I literally introduced myself with she they pronouns occasionally. And then my mom just like didn't even notice. And then the very first day I like when I moved to college, um like my mom was helping me unpack my stuff
Mm-hmm.
and there was one box. It had my chest binder in it. And I was trying to keep that box as far away
Yeah.
from her as
Of course.
possible.
Yeah.
But she grabbed it and she opened it up and she looked at the chest binder and then she just said, "Oh, is this your binder?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she just put it in the drawer without saying it like anything else. She didn't question it at all.
That's wild. That's awesome.
It's I didn't
Yeah.
even know she knew what a chest binder was.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely something that could be seen as multiple things or just confusing. But I guess like typically, I guess I would expect somebody who's assigned female at birth to know these things better than other people. Mora, thank you so much for the raid. I hope you feel better soon. Did you get anything in your shiny hunting? Is the question that I have for you. And welcome in, folks. I'm Nora. My pronouns are she, her, and we still have Owen somewhere in the ether. The Scoober sounds familiar. Yeah, don't know where. He just called me. Okay, let me check
Yeah.
if these are shiny.
Something I forgot to mention in retrospect, signs of me being trans. So ever since 7th grade, I had been begging my mom to let me cut my hair short and dye it blue. And when I was 16, I came out to her as a lesbian. Um and after that she let me get my hair cut short because apparently she wanted me to be a stereotype. And it's like I went from one coming out to realizing I had to do another coming out at some point.
I love it. I love it. Kokoish, thank you for the follow. And High Controller Jar.
Yeah, it's like I'm also very involved in my college's LGBT center.
Yeah.
And like that's another space where like I was able to test different things out. It's
Yeah.
like I cannot tell you how many times I've switched combos of pronouns. It's like I started out with he him when I went to college cuz I was in the like trans medicalists uh mindset where I was like, "Oh, I have to be a binary trans man or else I'm not trans enough,"
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And the funniest thing is, the way I discovered I was not a binary trans man is because of a random frat. Like,
Really?
I was walking in the student union, and like the thing is, if you even make eye contact for half a second with somebody at a contact table, they will immediately force you over to their contact table. And I accidentally made eye contact with one of these frat guys, and they call me over, and they're like, "Hey, we're a frat that's trans not exclusive. Oh my god,
Yeah. Trans
trans
inclusive.
inclusive." And first of all, what if I weren't trans? Like, what if I was just like a butch lesbian and they just like called me over thinking I was trans? And so I went to the interest meeting, and the amount of times they said the word brotherhood alone made me realize I wasn't as binary as I thought I was. And then after that, I tried they he, which is what I currently use. And then I switched to purely they them, and then he him, then he they, then they he. It's just like I've switched
Yeah.
so many times, I can't even count anymore. It's like I seem to change the order like at least once a year.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely an evolving identity for many people, I feel. I think that like the the like the reason that I feel like it can feel comfortable, I guess, to try and like keep it fixed so that you can tell people one thing and never have to change it again, kind of thing. But if people, I think when people are honest with themselves, that like it's definitely going to be something that evolves. So I appreciate the many changes of pronouns.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. Yeah,
I
I
have a
definitely
bunch
go
of
ahead. Go
sorry.
ahead.
I have a bunch of stuff I have written down for each question. I'm seeing if I
Sure.
missed
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
in them.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Um,
Brotherhood of the Traveling Pants would be a very different movie. Agreed. Agreed. I haven't seen that in a long time, but I agree.
Oh, here's a fun story about when I started T. Um, so when I got my appointment, it was April 27th, 2021. And I made the appointment like a month before, and I thought it was just like an appointment to get me on a wait list. But apparently the month was the wait list. And
Oh, okay.
so like we talk about all the consultation stuff like side effects and like the informed consent form and stuff like that. And they're like, "All right, where do you want us to send the prescription to?" And I was like, "Wait, what? This wasn't just a
Yeah.
meeting to schedule a meeting? What? This is the actual thing?" And so like I told them Walgreens because that's like the cheapest one with my insurance.
Uh-huh.
And I called my friend and I was like freaking out because I was like, what if I regret it? What if I regret it? And
Yeah.
they were like, dude, you've been talking about this nonstop for
Exactly.
3 years. You're
Yeah.
not gonna regret it.
Totally.
And so it's like I went down to Walgreens after I got the text that the prescription was ready. And I like the entire time I listened to this Spotify playlist that I just called songs that inexplicably feel gender,
Mhm.
just to like reassure myself.
Yeah.
And I actually have a video I made of my first tee shot. It's
Really?
yeah,
That's great.
and it's so funny because Walgreens gave me the wrong needles.
My gosh.
I was supposed to be on sub Q, which is the one that goes into fat,
Yeah.
but they didn't give me the right syringe to match the needle.
Wow.
And I was trying for like an hour to get that thing on. And then like the spring popped out. I was like, this broke. And like I'm in this server full of a bunch of other trans people.
Yeah.
And like one of them went in a Discord call with me to like help me through the process because I was just given an incredibly vague instruction pamphlet. I was not given a video like they told me they were gonna send me, just a PDF that I
Uh-huh.
had to go on. And it was a PDF on how to do sub Q.
Yeah.
But I was only able to do intramuscular, which is like the longer needle,
Mhm.
because they didn't give me the right supplies.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I was just terrified of how long the needle was. So I decided to, even though it was a intramuscular needle, I decided I wanted to do the shot in the style of sub Q, which is
Mhm.
like 45-degree angle,
Yeah.
and like you don't put it in as much.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I didn't put it in all the way because
Yeah.
I decided to do something incredibly stupid and I did the shot on my inner thigh where
Mm.
an artery is.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a very,
Yeah.
very, very good thing that I didn't do it intramuscular style because it's like
Yeah.
imagine I finally get on testosterone and it's like oops, not anymore because I would not be alive.
Yeah.
um,
Totally. Totally.
yeah, there's
Definitely
like a, sorry.
definitely like the one of the things that I struggle with sometimes is that like sometimes the doctors just don't know enough and they like the like kind of expectation is like you know what you're doing and you're coming here to get like the supplies that we can approve for you to have kind of thing and that's sort of like how it ended up to begin with was like people were DIYing this stuff and then
Mhm.
like it developed into some medical practice but it still is
Yeah.
very much like a like almost like a drug dealer type thing where you're getting like permission from people to use the medication and there are plenty of
Mhm.
studies on it and its effectiveness in treating gender dysphoria but like for certain aspects of it there isn't enough research done
Yeah.
and you really have to do your or like it's not as accessible and doctors aren't trained on these
Mhm.
things is the point to where like you get the same level of care from everywhere. It really
Mhm.
depends. Really depends. But yeah, that's a
Yeah.
really
And also, since testosterone is a controlled substance, sometimes like there's like struggles with that. Cause you know, uh, they'll like have to like check my ID, and then they'll see like the F, and then they'll like look at the fact that I'm getting testosterone and still somehow not connect the two things. It's like, yeah, I'm picking up HRT and my ID has an F on the sex. It's like, what is there not to get about this?
yeah.
But what was I gonna say? Um, I am trying to remember because I was gonna say something else first, but then I remembered controlled substance. Oh yeah. Um, so it's always a gamble when I pick up vials, because um, even if I don't need more syringes, they always give me more syringes anyway. And it's like they just like pick whichever. It's like whenever I pick it up, it's like, oh boy, am I gonna be on intramuscular or sub Q this time?
Gosh,
It's
that's awful.
like
That's awful.
because I am a larger person, neither of them hurt. So it's like intramuscular doesn't bother me even though it's a larger needle, because it's like I do have like a lot of fat there on my thigh, so like I barely feel it. So yeah.
Yeah. Uh, sorry. Is there a way to just like delete messages without banning or timing someone out? I just wanted to say controller jar, like the like vibe of my stream and stuff that generally doesn't go with the type of comments like that. So it's fine. But like just prefer not.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to
I
remove
don't.
messages or not.
Yeah, I don't know if I have to like time someone out for like a period of time or what, but
Try to think if there's anything I miss.
um,
Yeah, it's like with my T vials, um, I still have every single T vial I've ever gotten. Like I don't do that with the gel. I just like throw
yeah.
the tubes out. But
Hmm.
it's like my friend made me a necklace with my first T vial on it. I
Hmm.
and it's really funny though, because whenever I wear it, it falls into my chest binder so people
Hmm.
can't even see it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really thoughtful gift from your friend. I like that a lot.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I know somebody in a support group that I've gone to kept all of her boxes of patches over the course of multiple decades in case there were any question that she should be on the medication.
Hmm.
I just like had them, brought them to a new doctor's office in a backpack because it was the first time she had changed doctors since she got on HRT, which was pretty crazy to see.
Yeah,
Lots
at
of
some point
clapping.
I just have to throw them away other than the one that's a necklace, because it's just gonna start taking up so much space.
Yeah, totally. Totally. HRT box for it. Heck yes.
Yeah, when I started and I opened the thing, I was like, this vial is so small. I was expecting it to be bigger, but it was like smaller than my thumb.
Yeah. I mean, the like patches are like the patches that I use are the size of a DS cartridge. This is a 3DS
Hmm.
cartridge, but they're like this size. And I just put them on. I
Hmm.
mean, if people are familiar with smoking patches, I don't smoke and have never used the patches, but it's very similar to that, which is crazy. And it
Yeah.
convinces your body to do all sorts of things.
I know that there's testosterone patches, but I've heard that like people get like really itchy from them and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
I didn't know that there were testosterone patches. I knew about the gel,
mhm.
but the estrogen patches, I deal with some of the bit of itchiness that happens and move them around my body each time I put them on.
Mhm.
Yeah, controller jar. It's just like the vibe of the stream is PG-13 and stuff. Swearing like from time to time is okay, but like that kind of stuff is just like not. I'm trying to keep the only reason people would stop watching my stream be that I'm trans. That's generally the idea, not about like language and other things. So
Mhm.
it's kind of a high bar, but that's like yeah, that's the idea. So chat rules also make sense to read again if folks have not seen them before, or as a refresher. Um, yeah. Any other things that stand out that we didn't get to cover yet?
I think we talked about like the effects I've had for tea,
Yeah.
like in detail. Like, I mentioned
Hmm.
the facial hair a lot,
Yeah.
but it's like the very first change I got was my arm hair getting thicker. And it's like it's still getting
Fascinating.
thicker now because I came up with like a speed run strategy to like make the testosterone gel dry as fast as possible, which is like I like put some on my thighs because I have to use a whole tube, which takes up both of my thighs,
That's
and
insane.
yeah, and it's
Like,
especially
why?
insane considering how large I
How,
am.
like, also, like, how, like, why do you need, so much, given that, like, the patches are so small and things? That's wild.
Yeah, I don't know. But
Yeah.
like the strategy I've used is instead of applying it like with the palms of my hands, doing the back of my arms. And
Yeah.
it's like ever since I started doing that, even though I haven't been on the gel for that long, like I've definitely noticed my arm hair is getting even
I
thicker
mean,
from
of
doing
course.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Even like
wild.
like one change I was not expecting is for me to grow hair on the back of my hands. Like,
Yeah.
I like it's just such a weird experience.
Yeah.
I tried shaving it once, and it just looks so weird.
Yeah. It is very odd. That's for sure. Yeah, the androgenic hair that grows
Mhm,
in places where you previously only had like the vellus hair that you get. Like, it's very strange how many things change in the simplest
mhm.
ways. What are some
Yeah,
other things that you noticed over time?
I grew like a very subtle mustache before I got any of, like, the beard, but it's like over time, it's gone to where now the beard is infinitely more visible than the mustache, and people
Oh.
can barely even tell I have a mustache
Hmm.
anymore. Um let's see. Obviously the voice drop, um, bottom growth, um, just like lots of stomach hair. It's like I already had some pre-T, but now it's like I am officially a bear now. Like
Yeah. It is incredible how one chemical can do all these things.
I just like wish I had like been able to start tea a little bit earlier so I would
Yeah.
have a chance at the growing in height thing.
Right.
Cause I am 5'4".
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a thing for sure. That like that's another like there's all sorts of reasons to start younger kind of thing, but like people
Mhm,
can be very sure of these things from a very young age, like as young as like 2 or 3,
mhm. Yeah, it's
according to
like
research and things. And it's like if you can
mhm.
do the right puberty at the right time, it can mean a much easier life in a lot of ways. So
Yeah. Like, my big 3 for dysphoria are voice, height, and my chest, and only 2 of those can be fixed.
yeah,
My height cannot unless I just decide to wear some platform boots.
yeah. Makes me. I always think of the movie Gattaca. Have you seen Gattaca?
Yeah, I had to watch it for class
Okay,
once.
where he gets the leg extensions and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always think about that, and it's awful, really awful stuff.
Mhm.
No shiny Togepi here for some reason. Cracking eggs. Yeah, I really appreciate how open you are about the trans stuff, and it's like not it's not like an easy thing for everyone to be like openly trans, even if they are visibly trans, depending on who it is. So it's like it's a big deal to like to me personally, and I also like
Mhm.
speaking for other folks too. Like I know that it is very helpful. So like when you can do that, which seems to be fairly
Mhm.
often, like it's awesome, and you don't feel like you always have to do that, but like yeah, I really appreciate that. The stuff that you like post
Yeah.
on Twitter and things, and the things that you
Mhm.
share all the time. You're a pretty open person, and that's really awesome.
Yeah. It's I just think it's gonna be incredibly funny in the future because my dad has been trying to sell a house, and he like it is written on paper that he is giving my sister and I money from it,
Hmm.
and it's just gonna be so funny. Like, cause I did not have many changes from testosterone the last time I saw him.
Mm-hmm.
And like, cause like that was like at like some meeting with like the real estate person, like talking about like the details of like how much my sister and I would be getting. I don't remember the amount.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if he's still trying to sell the house. But
Mm-hmm.
it's so funny. The entire time I kept having to like glare at my mom and sister because they kept accidentally saying the correct name, which is Owen, instead of my dead name around him. But like he did not notice whatsoever. So
Oh,
it's just gonna
wow.
be so funny when I see him next, like for whenever he sells that house,
Mm-hmm.
because it's just like I'll just like roll up with my beard and mustache, my deep voice, and he'll
Yeah,
just be like, "Wait, what
totally.
happened to my daughter?"
Yeah, yeah. It's
But he can't do
wild
anything about it
experience.
because it's written in paper that he's
Yeah,
giving my sister and I that money, and I'm gonna be using that to get top surgery
yeah,
if he actually is able to sell it. So it's
yeah.
like, ah, yes, the transphobe that gives me money is actually funded my transition.
Hmm. Yeah, totally, totally. And I hope that that pulls through for you. And it's unfortunate that something like that is required in order for you to get like medical treatment that like is reduces an immense amount of suffering at the very least,
Hmm.
and otherwise like saves lives for people. And maybe at some point in your life it would have it like it would have made a big difference. Mm, like
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
in
like
that
I
way.
know 100% that my dad would disown me if he found out. But to be fair, I kind of disowned him first. But like he used to take my sister and I school supply shopping a lot, like over the summer. And we went to Target one time, and as soon as we walk in, he makes a transphobic joke about how they let men in the women's bathroom there. So it's like I just know he would not like accept it whatsoever. So, but I am like no contact with him, so I don't really care about
Yeah,
that.
it's pretty awful how comfortable people can sometimes feel when they don't know who's around them
Hmm.
with these kind of comments. So you show your cards a lot in these cases sometimes, and it's like a be careful who you hate because it's someone it might be someone you love kind of thing, like classic
Hmm.
T-shirt or poster business. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I've really had a good time here, Ellen. This is great.
Yeah.
Anything to like wrap things up, you think, on any end, Pokemon or otherwise?
I can't really think of anything I've missed.
Yeah. I mean, we can, like, people, let me shout out Owen again for you. And yeah, welcome in Idle Andy. We are doing 16 times Togepi. This was a hunt that I had planned for this week for a while. And I'm pretty excited about it. It's not, it's like very boring in some ways, so it's nice to have guests on during it. Shout out to Owen, who is another trans streamer who does a bunch of shiny hunting, full odds shiny hunting, and his streams are a lot of fun. So check him out, drop a follow, and you can ask him more about his experience there as well if you have questions.
You
Also,
can
like,
also potentially see me eat a Pokemon card.
yeah, yeah, if you'd like to see Owen eat a Pokemon card in the next few days to raise $50 for Trans Awareness Week or be there when it happens, check out his stream. Um, Does anybody in chat have any questions for Owen? People who are sticking around, really quick. I think a lot of people know Owen in general, but this is a different context, I guess. Just wait a few seconds or something. I don't know what the stream delay is usually like, but there are some of Owen's awesome emotes that he drew himself. I love the
I still need to
Pachirisu
go
one.
back and make the lines thicker on my emotes because they're kind of hard to see the outlines
I mean,
of.
I make out the Pachirisu perfectly, but yeah, I mean, it's possible to like improve with some outlines and things, but it also does make it harder when it comes to details. So I don't know.
Hmm.
It's a rough balance there. But yeah, anybody got any questions for Owen who's sticking around? If not, we can let Owen get some sleep because I started my stream late and it's almost 2 a.m. there. You love the rig, it's very
Yeah.
satisfying. Yeah. Yeah, it is a lot of fun. Cool. Yeah, thanks so much for coming on, Owen. Thanks for staying up late. I hope that your class tomorrow goes okay and that you can get some sleep.
Yeah, it should be fine. Because since I have ADHD, caffeine makes me tired, and I've been drinking a Pepsi this entire time. So,
Nice one. Nice one. All right, I'll see you soon in your streams and stuff. And oh, Benito's got one. If you were to get a Pokemon tattoo, what would it be?
okay, so I've been thinking about this because I've wanted a Pokemon tattoo, but it's like it's so broad. The thing I've been considering the most, I don't know if you've seen this manga section. It's like the Turtwig trot 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 yawn. It's like I've been so tempted to get that tattooed on me. It's what my Twitter header is.
Oh, okay. I'll pull it up then. Twitter. I was about to Google it based on your description. Oh, this. Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, let me just put this on the screen. Uh, this one. I love that. That would be a really cute tattoo.
Yeah, I'm just not sure because I'm already planning on getting a tattoo on
Uh-huh.
my wrist around where I would want to get that one.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure how that would end up working out.
Yeah, you can always ask a tattoo artist. I'm sure they would be able to give you a pretty experienced opinion.
Hmm.
So that's. I'm glad you have ideas. I have been like thinking about the idea of getting a tattoo, but I don't really know where to start. When I have some more time to think, I'm sure I'll think about it more.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah. Thanks so much, Owen. Have a good rest of your night, and we'll
Yeah,
talk
you
again
too.
soon. Really appreciate your time. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you so
problem.
much.
All right. Well, I'll see you in a later stream.
Yeah, 100%. See ya.
Farewell.
Bye. Thanks everybody who has came in with raids and stuff. It's kind of awkward to like be doing an interview and things with raids and stuff. So thanks for people who stuck around and things. I very much appreciate them. I just like it's hard for me having only done a few of these to integrate it all and make it continuous. But yeah. Okay, thanks Owen. I appreciate that. I'll post the VOD. I appreciate that. Um yeah, you'll get to see it. Like if you watch through the VOD, you can watch me struggle through the setup of this because I only got it set up. I finished playing through to this point on the last game about 5 or 10 minutes before stream started. It's been a lot of work setting up everything for this week and things, and it may not be like it both like may not be obvious to folks who don't stream that that's the case, and also it may not be obvious because some of the things that take me a while are some things that take folks a little bit less time. So, but yeah, thanks everybody for sticking around. I hope that people enjoyed the interview with Owen. If you haven't seen any of these before, I would encourage you to check out the other VODs. They've been really good. Been really good. You're gonna battle your insomnia. Have a good rest of the stream. Thank you, Owen. Have a good one. And now I have plenty of time to read chat, and we can open some Pokemon cards if anybody wants to redeem for Pokemon cards uh, by donating. I'll do a, let's see. Idle Andy, thank you. Thank you for the shiny luck. Also, Shadow Gaming, thank you for shiny luck. Kira gave me some shiny luck. What else do we get? I think we got most of the shiny luck there. Let us spender gave some shiny luck. I'll do a 2 packs for 1 deal on Pokemon cards if anybody wants to donate $25 to the Marsha P. Johnson Institute. Or 13. We can do 1. Thanks so much for folks who have been hanging out here. Very much. I appreciate it when it comes to supporting the event, especially this interview part. Is very important to me and close to my heart. It's been going quite well, and I really appreciate that because it's cool to be able to highlight the experience of folks who have been hanging out in chat and like generally other folks in the Pokemon community too as part of this event. So just being here is helpful when it comes to that kind of thing. Gonna go to bed now. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, Benito, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Kira, thank you. I appreciate it. Now that I say this, I need to make sure my camera's hooked up, but we'll get it working. Thank you so much. Let's open some Pokemon cards. After we check these eggs, but let me get the camera set up too. Oh gosh. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Open them, then you gotta head to bed. Sounds good. Make sure the camera's working. Otherwise, we'll have to do it on the main camera. Okay, there we go. And then, yeah, let's check these for shininess in a second. The top camera. It's working, which is great. Okay. Some stuff off. Phone can go over here. What do you want, Kira? Evolving Skies. Silver Tempest or Brilliant Stars? I'll switch the screen in a second. Sounds good. We'll do that. Where are these shiny? They're not. I need 1 second. I guess you're probably gonna say Umbreon, but you got your choice of all of them. And then what do we got for Silver Tempest? I think we have all of them too. Yeah. Okay. Umbreon. And then what do you want from Silver Tempest? Lugia. Sounds good. Alright, let's get these done so you can go to bed. I need to get that COVID booster soon. Energy guesses. I'll get the other one ready to go while we do energy guesses for this set. Water. Grass. Sigh. Cool, we got a few. It's grass. Did you see that, Kira? Okay, we got Boost Shake. Sheldon. That's a cool card. I really like this artist. I need to figure out what some of the other ones are. Shopping Center. Dwebble. Very cute. Hippopotas. Zora. I love this card. The dark backgrounds are awesome. Psyduck. Rufflet. Reverse Hollow Hippowdon. That's cool. And then Altaria. We got our second pack, which is Psychic. We got Ferrothorn. Raichu. I like this Raichu card. Honchkrow. Noibat. Togedemaru. I like the Togedemaru and this Noibat card. That's super cool. Sandile. Ooh. There's something nice at the end. Sandile. Swirlix. Marini. I like the Marini card. And Ariados. That's cool. That's cool. And Magearna, which is cool. The full arts are nice. I was hoping that was the Lugia. But Magearna is super cool. These cards are all great. Thanks, Kira. I need to do sleeves. Appreciate you hanging out, Kira, and thanks for redeeming the Pokemon cards and stuff. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your night. Chat gotta behave. This one belongs in this. Oh, there's this sleeve. That's right. Has anybody gotten anything good from their pulls from Silver Tempest yet? Anybody get any Lugias? K-Dan, welcome in. Donate. We're doing 2 for 1 on Pokemon cards if you want to donate. $25 and we open 2 packs. What else? Back to Togepi for a bit. That's a beautiful question for, I guess I look more experienced than I am. I opened my first set of Pokemon, my first pack of Pokemon cards since I was 12, about like 3 streams ago. The best person to ask about that is Kira and Sploosh, both of them. Kira would be able to answer that question very well for you. But I'm happy if other folks want to chime in on that. I really like my opinion on the cards so far. Both sets have had some really cool stuff in them. I really like the Eevee sets because they've got the evolutions and things in them. Let me just switch back and show you the cards that we got so far. This Melodic is probably my favorite card out of all of the ones so far. It's like a reverse hollow trainer art. And this came from Silver Tempest. This is an excellent card. Some of my other favorites, the reverse hollow Zora was cool. Lycanroc V is okay. Clink. I like the shiny Frostlass. I think that came out of I can't remember if this came out of Evolving Skies or Brilliant Stars, but this came out of Evolving Skies too. I haven't gotten any of the EV cards, evolutions from Evolving Skies yet, but yeah, there's some really good ones. Like I would look at the sets and see what you like, but of the sets that are have like recently, I guess the problem is that there's only certain like the sets go up in price as they get discontinued. Um, and so of the recent sets, the Evolving Skies I've liked so far for sure, and Silver Tempest is I think the cheapest set you can get right now. That's like a mainline set, but I could be wrong about that. Um, So I would probably recommend either of those. I haven't gotten anything great out of Brilliant Stars yet, but yeah. For anybody who hasn't seen it, we're currently in the Mart, resetting for Togepi eggs. Thanks, Kadan. I appreciate that. What avatar would you like to have? I really appreciate the people who are doing anything to support the event, including just being here, but donating is definitely very helpful. You would like to have an Sylveon. Sounds good. Thanks so much for the donation. I really appreciate that. Okay. I always put the underscore in the wrong place with your name, but I've got it now. I think that did it. Yeah. I assume that's what you wanted, but you've got your shiny Sylveon down there, and we can run a battle royale. Had to look for a card and stuff. Yeah, I know. I realized that the other day too. It's kind of awful. I don't understand why, but I mean, I understand why, but certain charities don't do it because PayPal takes a cut. So yeah, it's unfortunate because I feel like there are probably more people who would donate, but until they've had enough experience to know that on the platform, like this is the by far the largest fundraiser for the Marsha P. Johnson Institute on Tiltify. Like they've obviously raised more money from other sources, but like if you look on Tiltify, this is the one that has raised the most money by far. So I imagine that they would prefer to not have the transaction fees taken from them because of that. But it does, I feel like, deter people. How are people's hunts going, or how are they doing if you're around in chat? And I ask, congrats on winning the battle royale. And for a dupe hider now, first Gen 7 encounter hunt. Nice. What did you get most Oh, you got your Litten. That was super cool. Litten is Gen 6? No, Litten is Gen 7, right? And then you're going to take that Litten and you're doing a badge quest or something? Yeah. Yeah, that's super cool. So cool. Um, what was I going to say? Yeah, so we're going to be doing this Togepi hunt the next couple of days. I don't know if this is the most exciting for everyone to be watching, but I might change it up a little bit, depending on the day. It is like a lot to set this hunt up and then switch it, but I'll figure something out. We can do some Legends Arceus and things otherwise, but the idea is that we'll do this and we'll be doing this up until Scarlet Violet release, and then we'll start playing through Scarlet Violet. And on Thursday, when I start streaming, I'll be in my Scarlet Violet cosplay or Violet cosplay. In this case, and we'll do this. I think we'll do some. We'll definitely do some shiny hunting. I think this is the hunt that we're going to take through, um, and then we'll start playing Violet as soon as it comes out. So it's also your first playthrough. That's super cool. Are you enjoying it so far? How's Rotom treating you? For what you've done so far in the game, you've really enjoyed Gen 7. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I'm excited to play through it at some point. It feels like it's a world away. Like, it feels like I'm so far from playing through Gen 7. I don't know why. I guess because I have so much to do that I have set up to do in all these games. Like, we've got this crazy badge quest going. Uh, and, like, Scarlet Violet, there's just too much to do. When am I ever going to do it? Definitely could do some work to align these better when it comes to all hatching at the same time, but we're basically gonna. I'm gonna do one more set of encounters, like one more set of eggs, and then we'll raid out. This is like a kind of a short stream today. I mean, it's not the shortest stream, but it's kind of a short stream just because of like how long it took me to get this set up and when I got started. So I've enjoyed the stream a lot. It was cool, really cool to talk to Owen. I hope people enjoyed that as well, and I appreciate the raids from folks. Because we have a bunch of people here, I would appreciate if folks stuck around for a raid, and we've got another like 10 minutes or so if you want to chime in with anything about how you're doing or how your hunts are going, or anything else you'd like to talk about. And if you want to grab emotes for the raid, you can grab them with channel points. Typically, we spam the dittos, so. Hope people are excited for Scarlet Violet, because I know I am. Right, it's gonna be the slowest day of your life. Why is that? Oh, because you gotta work. Well, that's what I would guess based on what the context. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna start. I'm trying to get some good sleep the night before, and then we're gonna start. We'll do this. I'll be in my cosplay, and then I'm gonna play until it doesn't make sense to play anymore, and then I'll head to bed, and then wake up, and we'll be streaming it again as soon as I'm ready. Anybody who wants to be around for that would be cool. I know there's a bunch of folks who are probably like wanting to play through offline, but if you want to play through together, that works too. I guess maybe the best way to do it would be to like play through behind folks, but I don't know. I don't know. I'll play through it slower and look at every single blade of grass. Alright, let's check out what these eggs look like. I'm gonna check who we're gonna raid before then, and I'll start the raid, and then we'll check the eggs, so. If you want to see if they're gonna be shiny. stick around. If anybody didn't hear, if you can grab the Ditto emotes we use in the raid with channel points if you'd like. Before we go. Check who's streaming really quick. And we're going to do Folly Night because Folly Night's still doing stuff for our event. Hang out there. Folly Night's super awesome. Folly Night is super awesome. And she's been extremely supportive of the stream. Like in general, my stream, but also like the event. And has like a couple of cool rewards that you can check out there. She'll do a digital sculpture on stream for you, custom sculpture based on whatever Pokemon you want. Don't plan on grabbing Primo Slugma tonight. Might be a good idea to grab those for the games. I did. We're using them. We're using them. Are any of these shiny? They're not shiny. So we go again, but that's it for tonight. We're going to raid out to Folly Night. Thanks everybody who stuck around for lurking, chatting, came in with raids, donating. All very much appreciated. And yeah, we'll see you again tomorrow. If you'd like to come back, we'll be doing more of this hunt. And yeah, thanks so much, K-Down. Have a good one. Raid to Folly Night now. Bye.